Greetings, friends. It's Pat at Dancing Moon Travel, and I'm coming to you this time with a special extra added episode of Let's Talk Travel. If you're watching us live, we are delighted that you're out there. But if you're catching us, like most of you do, on an instant replay, we are delighted that you are out there as well. Now, if you are a photographer, professional, or a serious amateur, this next half hour or so is going to be a great investment of your time, and you are going to be so happy that you tuned in to this extra added edition of Let's Talk Travel. I have our special guests on board. I want to introduce them right here. This is professional photographers Dennis and Cheri Hammon from Idaho Falls. Hey guys, we're so glad to have you on board with this episode of Let's Talk Travel. Dennis and Cheri, you guys have partnered with Dancing Moon Travel to lead a photography group to explore the absolutely magical destination of Croatia via a small ship charter. Actually, in all actuality, this is a yacht. It's maximum of 30 passengers on board. It is spectacular. Before we get into more details about the actual event, I would like for our listeners to learn a little bit more about you guys. And guys, while we talk about this, you have graciously supplied some images, and so I may show some of those while we're chatting here, if it seems an appropriate time. So let's start off. I know you guys are highly in demand. I know every time I reach out to you, you are out speaking or leading seminars or a photo group somewhere. You get all around the country and around the globe. So you guys are highly in demand for workshops and seminars. And I appreciate you taking time to do this little video with us here. So let's take a few minutes. I'd like to let our listeners hear more about you and your credentials and your background. Who wants to start?
You want to start?
You can start.
All right. Well, I'm Dennis Hammond. I'm from Idaho Falls, Idaho, and I've been in business in photography. I mean, I have not done anything for over 45 years except photography. And I do a lot of portraits still. So I started a portrait business, but my love of life and nature is superseding a lot of that. So that's why I love going out and photographing the outdoors, landscapes, nature. We have a bonus. We live like 90 miles from Yellowstone Park and the Tetons. So it's real easy for us to go up and capture some wonderful images. But we have traveled in Europe and Mexico and Canada, across the United States, doing workshops in photography. This particular one's one we're doing in Mexico, doing a workshop. So that's one of the fun ones we did out on a cruise in teaching a class in Mexico while we're down there. Cheri?
I'm Cheri Hammon. I'm originally from Georgia, where we first met, I think, and moved to Idaho to be with Dennis almost exactly 11 years ago. And I've been in the photography industry since the mid-'80s as a retouch artist. I used to retouch negatives and prints and airbrush for copy restoration and all that fun stuff. And now it's all digital, a little bit different, but a lot of it is still the same. Dennis and I both have PPA degrees, and we're both ASP fellows from the American Society of Photographers. And so we love continuously learning and growing and just continue to love this and to learn and grow.
I want to let's just show Cheri. Here's one of the images of yours that I fell in love with this.
Thank you. This Shiprock in Moab.
That is way cool. I'm just going to show a few of these images before we move on anywhere.
That's a street scene in Italy. And that's a countryside scene in Italy. Funny story about this. We had been on this road for a couple of hours and didn't see a single car. And then we got to this gate that said the road was closed. It had been washed out on a hillside. And so we had to turn around and go back the other way for another couple of hours. But we did see some beautiful scenery along the way.
Wow.
We weren't lost, but we knew where we were at.
Yeah, I got it. This is another got to be out of the Italy scene.
In Venice, yeah.
Yeah, and this one, I love this one too. The light on that is just gorgeous.
This was early morning at an olive grove.
Yeah, that's one of the things we really try to show people when we're doing our workshops, how to see the light, finding the scenes at the right time, and then capturing that light. That's one of the things we really try to emphasize when we're doing our workshops, showing people how to do these things, is finding the light.
And you know, that's one of the things we're going to talk about in a little bit here as we move along, because this cruise that we're doing on the Croatia coast, I mean, we've got time for people to see the light, unlike a normal, regular large ship cruise. Dennis, here's some of your images. I think some of these go back with your trip to Italy as well.
Yeah, I've done 3 or 4 different trips to Italy workshops. Well, it's not a solo thing, so I've been there several times. But when we go out, we teach the grand, the intimate, and the abstract. And this is, we feel, one of the intimate parts of the landscape, whether it be inside a city or outside. So we really try to, emphasize, look at other things besides just the grand, and look at some of the more intimate things. And this is where this comes from.
That's cool. And
this
is another. Yeah. Go ahead. I'll put back.
I think that was Vernazza.
Yeah.
In Italy, I'll walk with you. You've been there, I'm sure, but it's just one of those scenic towns. You can't go wrong. You just point your camera sometimes, and there it is.
This is, and I loved here again, just the moodiness of this. And guys, I'm anything but a photographer. I've taken 3 decent pictures that I think are decent pictures in my whole life. So this is, but I love the craft. I love those of you who see things in a different light.
Well, that's what we're really trying to show and emphasize. And this is another one from Italy. And I got up after a rainstorm, walked around the hill in mud, and the storm cleared up just as I come around. And this is what we call a pan stitch. This is actually a 3-shot image that I put together to create the correct composition and dynamics of the image. And we actually show how to do those kind of things. It's just more tools to put in the photographer's toolboxes.
And this is, and here's, I think, for the final one that I've got, other than one very special one I'm going to show here.
This is, again, I think, on that lost road, and we both stopped, and when we're out together, we have to yell dibs, because one of us is liking the shot so much that one of us has to yell dibs, so the other one knows the other one wants it. But this is creating one of the fine art pieces, and this added a little texture to it to give that old world feel. So we try to show how we can do that, incorporate those into our art world.
And I've got to show this one. You sent this to me back at the time where we first connected some years ago. And I keep this image on my desktop. And sometimes when I just need a break, I'll just click on it just to look at it, because I was like, wow.
Yeah, this is an interesting shot. This is actually film day. When I shot film, and that just shows how important, if you capture an image correctly. And this has got no digital work done to it. It's just got one filter and capturing the exposure, and then the negative was scanned so I could use it later on in life, because I printed it from a negative, then I actually rescanned it so I could do things like this. But it is still one of my favorite images. It's called Devil's Dawn. I love it.
I just fell in love with it the first time I saw it. Now, one of the things that I love about you guys is not only are you masters at your craft and your artistry, but you're just great people. But you're I mean, I love your passion and your craft, and you seem equally passionate about sharing that with other people, and teaching and helping other photographers grow their craft. And you're not strangers to working with groups.
No, we've had some pretty big groups and pretty small groups. So it just depends. And yeah, sometimes it gets a little dramatic out there with the groups. And there was no grizzly bears hurting that photo. So.
Well, that is good to know. I think, it's one thing to be really good at what you do. It's another thing to be able and willing to share the knowledge and artistry and tips and tricks and critiques and all of that with other people, and help them to move forward. So I'm curious, what level of proficiency, where should photographers be to join this Croatia trip? Do they need to be master craftsmen? What?
No, anywhere they start, you can have beginners to advanced people, and I think we got some probably both on the trip already. But here's the thing: is that Cheri and I like to help people. When we grew up come up through ranks, there wasn't as much help come through, unfortunately, as what there is now. And we really try to help people. I do try to research out things. If I know you got a problem with the camera, if I can't figure it out, I will find out somewhere how to fix it or do it. But the thing is, you can't be better if you don't push yourself and come up with others. So we have all different kinds of people, and we don't care if you're a master or well, we'd like to have you have a camera more in a week, but it's just anybody can come. And
so anybody who wants to
left out.
Anybody who wants to grow their craft and take advantage of being able to pick your brain and learn and move a step forward, they're going to be well served to be on this trip with you guys. I want to switch things up just a little bit here. And you guys have not been to Croatia yet.
Just visually well, I've had numerous friends that have told me, and I've been researching the heck out. We have not been, but we are looking forward to it.
Yeah. Everybody has a first time. First thing I'm going to start with, we have chartered, we have a private yacht, maximum of 30 passengers, and we probably are not going to come close to filling that 30 passengers to that 30 passenger mark. So it's not going to be there's no crowding, folks. Croatia is a very easy destination to travel to. There is no vaccination required. You do have, if you're not vaccinated, you do have to present a test, but those are the details. But it's an easy destination. Getting there is your biggest challenge because it does require usually at least one stop flights going and coming. You're flying into Split and out of Dubrovnik. That's going to be your biggest challenge on this trip. Once you're in hand on this tour, it is so inclusive, and everything from your transfers on is taken care of. And we're going to, I want to just start by just playing this brief video. This is a vessel that we've chartered, folks. Take a look at this. Now, folks, I just, I'm going to talk a little bit here because I had the opportunity to do a very similar trip to our itinerary last September. I was on board a sister ship. I actually was on board for an inspection of the Queen that we have chartered for this group. So I've been on the vessel, and they had some lovely food for us as we inspected the ship. And it doesn't take too long to do an inspection of a vessel this size. It's a yacht. It's not the Queen Mary, but it is a lovely small ship, beautiful accommodations. Lovely finishes and so forth. Everybody has a nice private bathroom, beautiful showers, and they're well appointed. So this is definitely, it's rated as a 5-star vessel. So there, and the food is amazing. It's a little bit different than anything you might have experienced. If you do large ships, you get off in the morning and you explore the destination in the middle of the day, and then you get back on the ship and it takes off and you eat your dinner and all of that. It's different in Croatia on these Adriatic tours. As small ships, you will start off usually about 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. The ship will sail from whatever port it's in that night. You'll sail during the daytime and see the beautiful scenery along the coast. Most of it's kind of like an inside passage because you have these beautiful barrier islands. And then at some point, usually early afternoon, we'll dock, and you'll be able at that point, we'll have most every one of our stops includes a guided tour. So photographers and Dennis and Cheri, you guys will all be able to spot those places where you want to go back on your private photo walk and check out later. And you'll be able to take advantage of that beautiful evening light because you are in port all night long at each one of these stops. So you can take advantage of that late evening light or the early morning light, whatever you want to do. You can do that on this cruise because you're in port that whole time, can come and go off of the vessel all evening long. Restaurants all over the place in each one of these little villages that we visit on the itinerary. And they have all kinds of food, from everything from hamburgers on up. Your breakfast and lunch is a multi-course, usually 4-course lunch is provided on the ship. You probably won't even want much dinner. If my experience brings anything to bear, one night I just ate French fries because I wanted a little something, but I really didn't want much of anything because I was still full from that. So when I contacted you and proposed that we might consider doing this, you guys didn't skip a beat. You were ready to ramble when you heard about this. You've talked about Croatia in the past, and what is it that you're looking forward to more than anything?
I think the big thing is the variety, because when we looked at that, the itinerary that you present for us, and we went over that, we got ports, we got waterfalls, we got parks, we got beaches, we got towns to visit. So we got a plethora of photographic opportunities that, it's not going to be just limited to one thing. So we're going to see a lot of different stuff. And, in addition to all this, each day while we're cruising, we're going to have little classes and workshops. So help you critique and look at your images and understand what we're doing better. So we're going to be having little critiques and workshops all day long.
This is wonderful. Yeah. And everything is so easy on board the yacht. Everybody is so accommodating. I'm going to show here. Now, you guys have never been, so we can't show any of your images yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. We did have a photographer who led a small group on a very similar itinerary to this last fall. And I'm going to show just a few of the images that they captured. And first of all, this is a picture that I took in Corchula on one of the islands.
You got 4 now.
So this is one of the 3. And it was I just, even I could take a decent picture there. No critiquing necessary, guys. And here's another one that I took. This was at dinner at one of the restaurants when we were in Zagreb. We do have optional pre and post tours. Anybody who wants to extend their trip, we have wonderful, incredibly inclusive packages available. If you want to do something pre or post, we're going to do Zagreb pre, and the post cruise is going to take you into Montenegro and out of Dubrovnik. So here's just a few images that Jason took when he was there in October. He was there in October. So I'm just letting you see just a few pieces. These were all taken by a photographer out of Colorado Springs, Jason Odell, a good friend. And he actually does a little travel booking on the side. So he is actually well known to us here because he's part of the DMT family. And books some travel in addition to doing his photography. And folks, here is a picture of our itinerary, just so you can see. We're out of Split and Troja. One of the things that, as I was on this trip that I went on in September last year, I kept thinking to myself, how are they doing this? Because every day seemed like it was just a little better than the day before that I thought couldn't be improved on. So that was the reaction I had. And here you go. Here is a list of inclusions of what all, and this isn't all of it, folks. But this, if you sign up for this tour and go with Dennis and Cheri, all of this is included in your trip. Your transfers are included when you get to the airport. And it's daily breakfast, not breakfast. I don't know what I was doing there, but dinners are on your own. That's another thing where you can explore the culture a little bit and check out some of the dining other than a welcome dinner and the captain's dinner. Otherwise, you're free to explore a little bit. On the big cruise ships, you're grabbing a lunch when you're in port, but here you can have a leisurely dinner somewhere. And it's anything from a hamburger to Michelin rated dining, Zagat rated dining. It's there's amazing food. That was just another one of the things that impressed me about the trip there was how amazing the food was. So
well, you had us sold when you said Croatia and cruise. You had us sold.
And this is such a different experience. Cruisers are going to love this experience because you're getting a 5-star experience for a 2.5-star price. Croatia is absolutely unparalleled, the best value in all of Europe. We could not put together a trip like this anywhere else in Europe at twice the price. And I'm not kidding about that, folks. It is really, really well priced. So you get all of this and the expert photo instruction with Cheri and Dennis, $38.90 per person, and that's double occupancy. Now, guys, we have an amazing mix of people on this cruise that have signed up. We've got people of various ages, people of various proficiencies. We got a couple of people who are shooting just with their iPhone. We have other very accomplished, very serious people with photography degrees on board. So great spread of in that nature. But wait, there's more. I've got a clearance sale, folks. If you just the cruise part of this, I can offer, if you book by June 15th, we will let you, but this is based on a double occupied stateroom, book by June 15th, and I am running this special offer. Buy one, get one at 50% off. Now that applies just to the cruise portion. We can't do, you'll still have, if you do the pre and post tours or any other options, those are going to be extra. Air is on you. It's not included, about the only thing that's not included in this package. So if you want more details, we have a website we can send you. Here's the contact information. I'm leaving plenty of time for you to write this down. Just reach out to me and I'll send you, no obligation at all, but I'll send you that. Just email me, pat@dancingmoontravel.com, or call me at 404-735-5774. And I know that Dennis and Cheri will be absolutely thrilled to have you join them. Any closing remarks you guys want to make?
We're just excited for this opportunity. Pat, you always make such a fun trip when we've been with you on some other trips and things. It's just been amazing the itineraries you put together and the hospitality. And, you're one of the main reasons we said yes, because you make such a good deal on all this.
Yeah. Well,
we're looking forward to meeting new friends and seeing new places and capturing amazing images.
We've got an amazing mix of people who have signed up for this. We've got solo travelers, we've got couples, we've got girlfriends that are traveling together. So whatever your walk in life, you're going to be in good company, because there's probably people kind of walking along your same pathway who have already registered for this trip.
Well, we got thinking when we get all ready and get in another month, so we can start getting closer. We'll have some Zoom meetings with the people. We'll talk about equipment, what to bring, and get you involved there because you've been there, and I'm sure you'll be involved with this. And we just want to make it a great experience for everybody.
Well, I guarantee it, having done this myself in September. And folks, let me tell you, Croatia was not anywhere on my radar. I had no desire that I wanted to go to Croatia. I'd heard people talk about it, but I'd never gotten it on my bucket list. I just had an opportunity arise, and I had enough sense to say yes. And I have not shut up about Croatia since. I fell in love with this. It's a magical destination, and it just checks off all the boxes. Whether, for photographers, I can't even imagine, because that's a totally different dimension. So there is something for all interests: the history, the food. It checks it all.
And the fun thing is, we're going to be going into the fall season with some totally different looks and colors. It should be just awesome.
It will be. And by the way, September is the best month. They tell me, out of any time you can go to Croatia, September is the best weather-wise and crowd-wise and the whole thing. So we're in prime time on this trip. So folks, now is the time. We're still thinking space could well sell out, and particularly now that I'm offering this great value. Here again, you've got to register and pay for your booking by June 15th in order to take advantage of that buy one, get one at half off for the cruise portion of the trip. And no obligation to get that website and get more information. We're happy to send that your way as well and answer any questions you may have. Dennis and Cheri, thank you so much.
Well,
you guys are the best. And people just check them out online. If you don't know who Dennis and Cheri are, Google them. You will find out. There's so much great information out there about their credentials and what they bring to the table. And you can just surmise what they might do to help you notch up your skills. Thanks again, Dennis and Cheri.
Thank you.
So appreciate you guys. Hugs your way. Cannot wait to see those images that you send my way after this trip. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.